Now, our first match at WrestleMania weekend, which indeed I did miss. I am sorry I did. It was the Cruiserweight Championship match as Buddy Murphy took on Tony Nese. Long Island's Tony Nese. Now, I was late to the show, so I did miss it. Tony Nese won the match. You know, good for you. Don't have a match rating for it because I did not see it. Maybe I'll check it out on the network maybe later this week. Next match I missed was the Women's Battle Royal, which Carmella won. Don't have a match rating for that one either. I'm sorry, ladies. That is no offense to you. Next up is the Raw Tag Team Title Match as Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, the Revival, take on the team of Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Hawkins and Ryder, of course, local. Ryder's from Long Island. Hawkins is from Queens. And it wasn't the most, technical of matches, but it was still a very good match. And your winners and new Raw Tag Team Championship champions, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Love it. Big old thumbs up for me. Right team won. Next up, and the last match on the pre-show was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which was won by Braun Strowman after last eliminating the two guys from SNL. I don't really care about them. I haven't watched SNL in years. So, I give a thumbs up for Braun for winning it. Doesn't really mean anything, but, whatever. It's fine. Now, we kick off WrestleMania proper with a promo from host Alexa Bliss, which, she's hurt, so she needs to do something on the card. And she pretty much said, at a snap of my fingers, I could have a WrestleMania moment. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da. Hulk Bloody Hogan comes out. And no, I am not kidding. Hulk Hogan came out, returned to the company, did his spiel, whatever, while Hogan and Alexa are doing their pose down. Out comes Paul Heyman. Gets the ring. He says, no, this is wrong. As long as my client Brock Lesnar isn't the main event, let's have this now. So first match on the WrestleMania card proper, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. And Brock got offense in before the bell. Suplex, F5, all the good stuff. They get in the ring. Ref asks Seth if he wants to continue. He says yes. Gets up. Boom. Nut shot to Brock Lesnar while the ref's back was turned. Super kick. 3 curb stomps later. New Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. That's how you start off WrestleMania. I'm giving this a big thumbs up. Next matchup. Superstar, one of my personal favorites, AJ Styles, taking on Randy Orton. And what was a really, really good match. It took off immediately. False RKOs, false phenomenal forearms. And AJ finally gets the forearm. 1, 2, 3. AJ wins. Very good, technically sound match. And on a bit of a sadder note, AJ hurt himself during this match. I did not notice at any point where AJ could have hurt himself. Hopefully he gets better soon. And he has deserved this time off due to Workhorse. Next up for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in a fatal 4-way as Jimmy and Jey Uso defend their titles against Aleister Black and Ricochet. You see, there they are. Main roster. Against Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Don't really like this team up, but they gotta be on the card somewhere, I guess. and the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. Like, near end of the match, you see Cesaro swinging Ricochet, like, must have been 100 times. All the while, Sheamus is doing his, bows of the Bowery, I guess you call it, to every other participant in the match. Match ends, which was a very good spot. Match ends with a double splash by the Usos onto Rusev, I believe it was. 1, 2, 3. Usos retain. Very fun, very good match. Thumbs up. Next up, Falls Count Anywhere match between Shane McMahon, the Daredevil, best in the world, and The Miz. Now, personally, it did start off a little slowly, but then Miz Dad got involved, the Miz's father, and eventually they made their way to the opposite side of the arena I was on, so I didn't really get to see it live, but I did see it on the screens. Miz hit a giant suplex off some scaffolding onto, padding, because you don't want these guys getting hurt. Shane puts his arm over him. 1, 2, 3. Shane McMahon wins. First real heel victory of the night, but it wasn't the most technically sound match, but it was a good car crash, so it gets a thumbs up from me. Next up, the Women's Tag Team Fatal 4-Way match, as the Boss and Hug Connection defend their titles against the Iconics, Nia Jax and Tamina, and Natalya and Beth Phoenix. And during Natalya and Beth Phoenix's entrance, we got a little Bret Hart action. Bret Hart giving them a good luck. And that was fantastic. That was great. Wasn't the best match it could have been, but it did have a surprise ending with Beth Phoenix hitting her glam slam on, I want to say it was Bayley? Either it was Bayley or it was Sasha. And then Billie Kay comes in, shoves her to the side, pins her. 1, 2, 3. Iconics, your new WWE Women's Champions. And it gets a thumb in the middle, only because of the result. I like the result. Nice big surprise, unexpected. And that's good. Not the best match they could have put on, though. Next up, for the WWE Championship, it's Kofi Kingston challenging Daniel Bryan for the title. Woo! This was a good match. No interference from either outside party. Just a fun, clean match that saw the right man go over. Although I wouldn't be upset if either man won. But Kofi Mania was running wild, brother. Big old thumbs up. Way to go, Kofi. Next up was a relatively short match between Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe, in which, well, it was reported earlier that Mysterio had been injured. I think he hurt his ankle against Corbin the Monday before WrestleMania. So, yeah, it's understandable why it was so short. Fake out 619 into the Coquina. Ray taps out. Samoa Joe retains the title. Very out of nowhere match. Maybe it should have been on the pre-show. I don't know. I'll give it a thumbs in the middle just because my boy Joe won. Alright. Next match is in which, at this point, everyone in the arena was tired. But we still had plenty more to go, as we had Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. This was a bit of a slog match. during the match, at least the top of the arena where I was sitting, we were doing the wave, which, I mean, in the end, it was a very Roman Reigns match. He gets the crap kicked out of him, and then comes back, Superman punch, spear, 1, 2, 3. Roman wins, as we all knew he would. I'm going to give this a thumbs in the middle. I feel like it could have been a little bit better than what we got. Next up was a bit of a surprise, as Elias came out and not only played the guitar, but he had 2 avatars, or holograms, whatever you want to call it, on piano and on drums? Yeah, drums. And that was a very creative way for Elias to do his concert, as he was going to continue. A vignette for Babe Ruth, of all people, showed. But then out comes John Cena, but not the John Cena you think you know. The doctor of thugonomics, John Cena. Holy crap. I was not expecting that. And he went on his talking rap thing and pretty much buried Elias. Elias is pretty much a nobody at this point, which is sad because I like Elias. But returning thugonomics John Cena, you get a big old thumbs up from me. Next match, we have the No Holds Barred match with Triple H's career on the line as Batista takes on Triple H. Before the match got going, during his entrance, Batista did trip and fall getting into the ring, which I found quite funny. Both had special entrances, which of course they do. And that match went way too long than it should have. I think it went like 20 minutes or something. They did break out some of the hardcore stuff, like Batista tried powerbombing Triple H through tables, and then he flung him over his shoulder. Chains were involved. At one point, Triple H got some pliers and tried to get Batista's nose ring out, which was gruesome. Like, it wasn't bad as a hardcore match, but as a wrestling match, it could have been cut down. It didn't need to be as long as it did. But I'm still going to give it a thumbs up. I liked it. Sorry, kids. Oh, Triple H won. That's right. I forgot about that. Big thumbs up. Triple H continues his career. After the match, Batista announced his retirement. So, no more Batista for a little bit. I'm sure he'll be around. Maybe once after Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is done. Next up is Kurt Angle's retirement match. A match I was looking forward to, even though it was Baron Corbin in the end who challenged him. And the biggest misjudgment of letting him go out on a high note, Kurt Angle lost to Baron Corbin. Now, I understand giving the rub to the young guys, but this was the wrong time to do it. Corbin's a nobody. He's not going to be a future world champion. He's going to be the dude who gets forgotten on TV and will end up carrying everyone else's bags, hopefully. So, this gives thumbs down for me. Complete injustice. That should not have happened. Next up, in a longer match than I expected, Bobby Lashley defended his Intercontinental Championship against the Demon, Finn Balor. It took a while for the Demon to come out at WrestleMania, but this was technically his WrestleMania debut, so that's cool. And it did go longer than it probably needed to, but it was a whole lot of fun. Like Lashley doing a standing suplex to Finn Balor, which was interesting. Lashley spearing Balor through the ropes onto the floor. That was cool. Where was this Lashley all this time? God damn it. Like, seriously. What happened? Where was this Lashley? Give us this Lashley from now on. Like, this was a good match, even though it was fast. Coup de grace. Balor hit all his stuff. Sling blade, drop kick, coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. Balor's the new Intercontinental Champion, which is right by me. It went on a little longer than it probably needed to, but it was a good match. Thumbs up by me. And the final match of the night, the main event, the women in a winner-take-all match for both the Raw and the SmackDown championships, women's championships. We had Ronda Rousey being played out by Joan Jett, which was very cool. Raw Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair coming into via helicopter, just like her dad back in the day. SmackDown Women's Champion. And then, of course, the man, Becky Lynch, Outlast. What a war this was. We had plenty of, like, stiff kicks from Ronda. Not a superfly splash, but like a... Oh, what do you call that move? Not a superfly splash. I'll think of it. Plenty of big moves. A table spot, which the table didn't break right away, which was happening all night, which was weird. And then the weirdest ending to the match. It was Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch in the ring. Charlotte pretty much took herself out. And Ronda was going for her spinning F5, I guess. Becky rolls her up. 1. Ronda's shoulder gets up, but the ref continues. 2, 3, to the surprise of pretty much nobody. Becky Lynch, your new Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. The entire match, I'm going to give a thumbs up. All the ladies did great. But that ending felt a little flat because it was kind of out of nowhere. So, I don't know if that was the plan or if the ref messed up. I don't know. So for that, I'm going to give it a thumbs down. You know, final of the match, I give a thumbs down. Rest of the match gets a big old thumbs up. Overall, I thought it was a very fun event. I'm glad I got to go. And I give it a thumbs up. So that'll be it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see what happens next week. We got the Superstar Shakeup coming. Maybe we'll see some NXT call-ups. Who knows? We'll see what happens. You never know with WWE. So I will see you guys next time. Peace.